refused induction on the grounds of his religious convictions on war.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some poor hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger.
Welcome to The Awakening. Black Women United. I am your host, Sherry Danny. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video. On Friday, the House of Representatives passed a measure automatically registering men aged 18 to 26 for selective service. In 2021, a bill had already passed requiring women ages 18 to 26 to register for selective service. It was part of the National Defense Authorization Act, which sets out the U.S. government's military and national security priorities over the next fiscal year. This year's National Defense Authorization Act authorizes $895.2 billion in military spending, a $9 billion increase from fiscal 2024. The response from Black Americans has been swift. They will refuse the selective service and will not register because they have never received reparations or full citizenship in the U.S. Black Americans have supported the U.S. in every war, from the Revolutionary War, where George Washington promised blacks their freedom if they assisted him in defeating the British. Yet when the war was over, the new Americans held blacks as slaves for nearly another century. During World War I and II, blacks were much-needed reinforcements. Black women served as nurses, aiding the soldiers, though some did not want to be treated by a black person. They participated in these wars while enduring Jim Crow and black codes and lynchings.
When World War II came, I quit my job as a domestic and went to work in the Philadelphia Navy Yard, where I helped to build an aircraft carrier, the USS Valley Forge. That experience changed my life, the lives of my family, and the lives of black women everywhere.
So, from having the first group of African-American nurses in the Army Nurse Corps, which arrived in England in 1944, to the famous 68th, 88th Central Postal Battalion, the dedication and bravery of these women helped boost the economy in the black family. When war industries created the demand for labor, which many black workers, especially the black woman, could feel, she continued to rise to the occasion.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
After Pearl Harbor, this is interpreted by average Americans as being an attack on the homeland, an attack on the American people, attack on American values, an attack that has to be avenged.
The nation is swept up in patriotic fervor as a result of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And here's Nazi Germany. They're fighting a war that is really defined by this idea of the superior white race. And African Americans have a vested interest in this war because they see it as an opportunity to strike a blow against fascism, but also an opportunity to gain freedom.
You had many African American women who helped in the production of armaments for the war. Many black women left the menial life of domestic servitude to earn better salaries, provide for their families, and help the men fight overseas in Europe, North Africa, and Asia.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
After Pearl Harbor, this is interpreted by average Americans as being an attack on the homeland, an attack on the American people, attack on American values, an attack that has to be avenged.
The nation is swept up in patriotic fervor as a result of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And African Americans, just like other Americans, are anxious to prove themselves in battle. They want to defend the nation.
Black men are volunteering to fight for their country. Some are drafted, but for the most part, they are enlisting. Because think about 1940s America. There are very few things that African Americans are able to do, particularly in the South. Ideas of social mobility and financial mobility is almost non-existent.
everywhere. My name is Ruth Wilson. In a few days, I'll be 94 years old. Along with 600,000 black women, built airplanes, aircraft carriers, battleships, and worked in government offices while fighting Jim Crow, racism, and sexism.
And this is something that you see all the way back to the American Revolution.
There's this profound paradox of American slavery and American freedom, which argues that American freedom has always been dependent on slavery. In the same way, by the time we get to the Civil War and you have someone like Frederick Douglass writing, "What is the 4th of July to the slave?" He's making the case that this freedom, this equality, this liberty that you talk about has never been a part of who we are.
The idea that the enslaved or people who are oppressed will fight for their liberty is a very strong through line actually throughout American history. Basically, black people are thinking about military participation as a tool for citizenship, as a tool.
He said that we enemies, y'all. He declared that the whole United States is, well, let me speak for us all, Putin. I'm just want to come to you as a woman, as a stud, as a man, however that you want to address me. I promise I pink. My grandmama called me a bull that growing up, so I won't even take to offense. I promise. We ain't got shit to do with that White House, especially us. I'm talking about like us as a people. Like, I swear to God, they don't even with us. So like, if you could just fuck with us, you know what I'm talking about, and just maybe like let us slide, you know what I'm saying? Or I ain't saying go get them, all them, but I'm just saying us. Like, they don't even fuck with us. Them motherfuckers be throwing a book at us, putting us under prisons. We don't fuck with them, I promise. So, like, I just want you to like clear that up. Like, who you beefing with? Like, call them out. Like, name drop. I mean, if you need an address, any shit, like, we can send you the Google link or some shit, like Apple Maps if you got iPhone or some shit. I'm just trying to like be clear on who the fuck he beefing. Can't be us. Can't be.
As a tool for getting equal rights and fair treatment, hoping that their loyalty and their patriotism will be rewarded.
Martin Luther King Jr. came to Birmingham, Alabama in 1963 on a mission to a place he called the most segregated city in the United States.
To dramatize this blatant injustice and to demand that the federal government not put a cent in this city unless it decides to face the realities of desegregation.
In the nonviolent demonstrations that followed, King and hundreds of protesters. Police turned high-pressure fire hoses on the young people and set attack dogs on them. Birmingham civil rights leader Reverend Calvin Woods was there.
There had been some dog biting, some beating, some killing. Many people were beaten and spit on and put in jail, lost jobs. But those were minor things compared to what we felt we had to do.
The brutal crackdown was widely televised and
it has been said that I have two alternatives: either go to jail or go to the army. But I would like to say that there is another alternative, and that alternative is justice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Muhammad Ali has just refused to be inducted into the United States Armed Forces.
He refused induction.
You know, Muhammad Ali is really important in this because when Ali refuses induction, there's a famous column in the New York Times written by Tom Wicker where he just wonders out loud what would happen if you had 100,000 Muhammad Alis. If you had 100,000 people who were prepared to do what Muhammad Ali just did, you would bring this war to a stop. So the draft resistors set that kind of as a goal.
It took an all-white jury less than a half hour to find Muhammad Ali guilty of all charges and specifications. He was sentenced to the maximum, 5 years in prison, and was fined $10,000.
If we can have everybody's attention, we know it's a lot of people, a lot of commotion. We don't want to keep anybody out any longer than we have to. I'm Attorney Ben Crump. the lead attorney for George Floyd's family, along with attorney Anthony Romanucci and attorney Chris Stewart and attorney Justin Miller. We represent the family of George Floyd, and we have some special guests here that we're going to have you hear from who came to support the George Floyd family from near and far. We have the mother of Eric Gardner, Gwen Carr, who's present with us. We have the father of Michael Brown, who was killed in Ferguson, Missouri, Michael Brown Sr., here with us. We have the sister of Botham Jones, who was killed in Dallas, Texas, here with us. And my co-counsel, Attorney Lee Merritt, here on that case as well. We have the family of Ahmaud Arbery present with us, and that is Mr. Marcus Arbery. Miss Wanda Arbery is en route. You will hear from them as well, and Attorney Stewart and Attorney Merritt will talk about not only the Floyd case, but Breonna Taylor's case and also Ahmaud Arbery case, and try to give updates. A case we're going to talk about is Pamela Turner, who happened right here in Houston. Her family is here, and we cannot forget her, Reverend Al. Before we start, we're going to ask Reverend Al to start us.
Do you share the same concern that Muhammad has for his draft status?
Oh, I certainly do. My views on the draft are very clear. I'm against it.
Good luck trying to round us all up. Good luck trying to force us to the front line. Good luck trying to force our babies into active service, because it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. They sneakily passed this bill overnight, y'all. Let me show y'all. So because they lost this war that they started in the Middle East that had nothing to do with us, was none of our business, they trying to force us into active duty, okay? Let me show you. So overnight, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill automatically registering men aged 18 to 26 for selective service. Now, why is this an important age group? Because their frontal lobe is not developed. Your frontal lobe don't develop until you're 26 years old, which means that because they have the age of an adult at 18 where you could vote, from 18 to 26 is the most important time frame for a male, because they're still developing. They're still developing in their brain, and they trying to sign them up for active duty service. Foreigners will be excluded from this obligation. Y'all won't even fucking pay them student loans. Y'all won't even change the goddamn gun laws in this country to protect our damn kids to make it to 18 years old. Y'all won't even change the laws to stop these fucking predators from doing the nasty shit that they doing, giving them 2 years for date raping kids. 2 years in prison, and you want them to spend 8 years in service? Are you kidding me? Are y'all fucking serious, America? Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. It's about to be a civil war in this country. It's about to be a civil fucking war in this country, y'all. It's really about to go down. So I suggest y'all hide your kids, hide your wives, because I have a strong feeling that them white folks is going to feel some type of way about this, okay? They're going to feel some type of way about this, and we're going to see insurrection part 2, because nobody said they wanted to fight in that war that's going on right now. And that's why they're trying to force them to do it. And you know what's going to end up happening? There's going to be war in this country. I ain't going. I said I wasn't going. I said I ain't participating. Not me, but like, I have a daughter, but I expect to have a son. And my son's not going to be fighting in nobody's fucking war. Nobody's fucking war. Especially not for a racist ass motherfucking country that still don't want to pay reparations for the bullshit that they do. You still doing the same shit you've been doing, that y'all was been supposed to stop doing. Y'all lied and stole our taxes. We ain't going no fucking where. Okay?
With the draft, the better it will be for everybody.
War. where George Washington promised blacks their freedom if they assisted him in defeating the British. Yet when the war was over, the new Americans held blacks as slaves for nearly another century. During World War I and II, blacks were much-needed reinforcements. Black women served as nurses, aiding the soldiers, though some did not want to be treated by a black person. They participated in these wars while enduring Jim Crow and black codes and lynchings. Currently, black American neighborhoods are under siege from illegal immigrants, spearheaded by Democratic leaders. The response from black Americans is swift. They will refuse the Selective Service and will not register because they have never received reparations or full citizenship in the U.S. You cannot threaten a people with poverty who are already poor. You cannot threaten a people with imprisonment who already have high numbers of incarceration. This has been The Awakening, Black Women United. I am your host, Sherry Danny. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video.